Bills. It's a touchdown.
He's right here, and they're going to split safety. You're just going to run right down between the two safeties. Nobody picks him up. Nobody, absolutely nobody.
Woo! How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I'm Muggs.
I'm Mavi.
I'm Mitch.
I'm C's.
And this is
Speak Up Bills! Speak Up Bills! Speak Up Bills!
Ow!
Let's get it! Woo!
What's going on, guys? Welcome. Speak Up Bills Nation.
We're back.
We are back. I'm
Back.
Mavi.
We're back.
Sorry.
I'm Muggs.
And we got a special guest with us here today. My brother, my man, coming from Buff Hub, from Buffalo Rumblings podcast, all the way from the beautiful state of Nevada,
Say his name.
desert country,
Say his name.
Steve Vega.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Man of the hour. I'm excited.
Viva Las Vegas.
Uh,
Guys, it's an honor. Thank you so much for letting me join. Number one, if you guys tune into the Buff Hub, you'll actually hear Mavi. I'm going to call you my brother Mario because I suck at nicknames. But yeah, so literally had him on my first episode and close to over 6.5 months after being deployed. And it was an honor because Mario saw me trying to do a podcast. It used to be called super long name. I'm not even going to mention. And then, long story short, just decided to just chop it up and have something more straightforward. And it just led to so many cool open doors. But Mario, my brother, who is from the great state of New York and the Queen City of Buffalo, believed in me to, really keep it moving. And I'm here. I am. I'm here, and it's been a year, and I'm so excited to be with you guys. I love what you guys got going. I think it's pretty cool. I think some people need to start latching on to what you guys are doing. I think it's really catching some fire here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Man, we appreciate it. We appreciate the love, bro. So yeah, man, it's awesome to have you on this episode. Not only because you're my brother, I love you. I'm so happy that you joined us, but we're coming off a big Bills win.
Yeah.
This past Sunday.
It was crazy.
Big game. Josh Allen had a huge game. Bills defense had a huge game. All around the team, the game was amazing. So good.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I feel like to win that good, that in that fashion, it's so easy for us to take that win and basically be like, oh, Washington football, whatever the freak their name is. Sorry, can I curse on here?
You can
Yeah,
say,
you can say whatever the fuck
buddy.
you
Okay, yeah. I'll remember that the next time around something tries to slip out. So I feel like it's really easy to think the WFT or WTF team, it's easy to think they suck and the Bills just had, a way better roster. But I have come to the conclusion that that's a crock of shit. I think the Bills are a great team. Washington football team actually has studs on their offense, on their defense. Heineke, in my opinion, I thought showed a lot of great signs, but he was exposed because a team like Buffalo has, I think just so much tenacity and so much drive after trying to prove that, everyone from Buffalo who's a Bills fan, you have a chip on your shoulder, and you saw their true colors. I'm not going to sit here and say though, Washington football team sucks. I think they're going to win several games this year. Maybe sneak into the playoffs again. But again, Buffalo, they showed their true colors on defense. The offense, like I told you when I was hosting you last week, maybe, dude, like our offense, it's really going to be predicated on the success that we have with Manuel Sanders. And it's finally showing, but it took, again, 3 weeks, but here we are.
Man, I've been on that Sanders hype train ever since he signed with us. See, like, he was one of my favorite receivers in his Bronco days. I fucked with him hard. Like Emmanuel was the man. And just the fact that we have him on our team, I'm so damn excited about that. Like that shit blows my mind.
Yeah.
And the fact that my man had 2 touchdowns in that first diving one he had, that shit was crazy. But it feels good that because they were all over Diggs.
Yeah.
They were all over Diggs.
Mhm.
So it's good to have that other guy, but we have them other guys. Because I feel like every single person on the squad, they could catch that damn ball.
Mhm.
Everybody could.
Yeah, and just touch on that touchdown. I mean, there's not many quarterbacks in this league that can throw a ball the way Josh Allen threw that ball in the end zone. And granted, it was. I mean, this guy was running out like he was literally right about to hit the out of bounds there. Tosses a laser, 30+ yards down, and Sander, being that Grizzly veteran that he is, I mean, he just scooped inches off the ground. I mean, that was a phenomenal catch and throw, and a connection, and I can't wait to see more of it. I cannot wait to see
What's going to happen?
It's funny you mentioned that because, we talked about last time where is it going to be Emmanuel Sanders figuring Josh Allen out, or is it going to be more of Josh Allen figuring Emmanuel Sanders out? Because I believe, personally, it's Emmanuel Sanders starting to figure out Josh Allen. Quarterbacks in the past were very strategic with him. Obviously, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger. Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger would, he'd get his jersey torn off trying to, make plays and throw him downfield. But Josh Allen, out of all those quarterbacks, is probably the biggest wild card as far as, our offensive line, number one. There's a lot of holes there. It's like freaking. It's just a block of cheese with holes all over it that we need to figure out. It's actually starting to really upset me because this is not how I envisioned this team to start off the season. I thought we were going to, there's plenty of chemistry on that line and they need to start figuring it out or we're going to start seeing people get traded. But what I'm thinking is here we go with Josh Allen and Emmanuel Sanders. You got Stephon Diggs getting double, triple covered, taking a step back and being like, we need to get someone else going here who can be more productive or at least as productive as I can be. Because you want that out of your number 2 receiver whenever you have a situation where you're getting double, triple covered on Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen breaks out. And like you said, Emmanuel Sanders went with his instincts and basically laid himself out to, catch the ball where only he could catch it. So there you go.
Absolutely. And now with Sanders being as effective as he was against the Washington football team and prior to that, it just goes to show these games going forward, you may not have the manpower to double cover Diggs anymore. Yeah. Now you got to worry about Sanders and that's just going to open it up for Diggs even more. I mean, he hasn't had a year so far. He hasn't had a year like he did in 2020, but I mean, he's definitely going to have some big games because of the Sanders because of the Sanders factor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be a great dynamic going forward. And what we can expect out of this offense, especially against the Texans team. But yeah, so let me ask you this, Steven. What did you think of the defense so far over the course of the last 3 weeks and going forward?
Well, they're playing lights out, but you just feel that there is, aside from AJ Epinesa and Matt Milano, you kind of hope and wish that you can get a defensive back, whether it's a safety or a cornerback, to really be able to lay the freaking lumber on somebody, because that's more terrifying than anything. If you can get past the second and third, or the first and second level, great. But having a guy who can really lay the lumber, I've been waiting for that, because when we start going up against teams that are willing to throw it down Tyreek Hill or, one of these guys that, they're not really afraid to get hit. Here's the thing. Mm. If you look at a lot of great safeties in the NFL, Now, I love Jordan Poyer and I love Micah Hyde for what they do for our defense. They get us in position to win games. Yes, they absolutely do. But wide receivers get flustered whenever they know a big hit's coming. They really do. And I feel like that, for me, is what I want to see out of the defense going forward. And I bring this up because I saw a glimpse of that with, I believe it was who subbed in? Jaquan, what's his last name? Johnson?
Yeah, Johnson.
Yeah,
Yep.
Jaquan Johnson. He laid and Heineke's just like, he's believing he can take the hit. And this hit, and let me tell you, Heineke's a tough kid. Big chip on his shoulder, and he's willing to take a hit. Sent that guy backwards, full steam ahead. I mean, that's what I'm hoping. And now it's looking like today, as we're recording this, Jordan Poyer did not practice due to a knee injury. I don't know what that's going to transpire into, but we're going against Houston where, you got a guy like Brandon Cooks where he's going to be catching the ball, all over the place. But give a guy like Jaquan Johnson maybe get more snaps, maybe limit Jordan Poyer's snaps as far as, really, especially against a team like Houston where they may not really have too many weapons. And more importantly, if they're going to start this kid, David Mills, God help him.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. You want to know? See, I love our defense, but right now the only person I could really think of on the Bills is Cole Beasley. My man had 98 yards with 11 catches, right? So far, he's at 194 yards for these 3 games. And I'm just sitting here and I'm staring at his stats. And the whole time with Dallas, his 8 seasons with Dallas, he had one friggin' 800-yard one, 1.516. That's it. His first year with us, 778. Year 2, 967. Year 3 right now with us, he's already at 194. And there's only 3 games done.
Yeah.
And you know that he's going to get at least 50 yards a game. Because even friggin' everybody says on the team, Cole's always open. That's why I'm telling you, I don't believe that Cole has a route. I don't believe it. They just tell him to do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Just throw your hand up. Josh will give it to you.
Reminiscent
do whatever you want.
Of Stevie Johnson when he was playing for us. Just get out there and
just
be
get
open.
out there and do what you got to do.
Get open.
And it's I don't know, because Cole, you can always see him somewhere. You're like, holy shit, he's open over there. But now it's with Sanders, I feel like he's going to learn from that too, kind of, because on how Josh just goes everywhere.
He spreads it well.
Yeah, for 80% of the Bills playing, they change something up and do their own fucking thing. I'm convinced, and it's I feel like Sanders has that yo, listen, just trust me. And Josh is all right, fuck it, I'm gonna trust you, and he's slinging it and he's getting it.
Yeah,
because Josh will just launch it. Yeah, and Sanders just guns it.
And Beasley does a phenomenal job finding those open spaces in zone coverage. He's one of the best.
His little ass can block. I don't know if y'all have ever seen Beasley block, but he is not scared. That little man is not scared.
Off topic, did you guys see Beasley cut his gorgeous Goldilocks?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Dude. Yeah, man.
But he needs to get that tooth fixed. I know he's got money.
That's his thing.
I know he's got
motherfucking wonder, man.
Oh, man. Nah, man, I like it. I like the edge. He kind of looks like a freaking little mini hockey player out there, And yeah, man, just ready.
Our goalie.
But touching base on get out there and get open. You ever feel like when you're watching this game and Josh Allen is getting the play calls down from Daboll and he sees he's observing the defense and changes up and he's kind of going back there. He opens up his little book and he's looking at his plays. But in all honesty, he's not even calling the plays on his hands. He's just listen, I'm gonna run out the pocket.
Yeah.
All y'all run different routes. I'm gonna throw to one of y'all.
Yeah, everybody just crazy. Look at me. Yeah.
And then they cut to the scene with Daboll up there, and he's just kind of shaking his head like this motherfucker thinks he's Peyton Manning out here. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But hey, Allen has the capabilities to be that Peyton Manning, to be that Tom Brady.
But here's what Allen needs, because we all know all his strengths. His arms, and his legs. The boy's fast. The boy can run. He could take a hit. He could hit, and he can launch the ball. But what he needs is the Aaron Rodgers mindset. Do you know how many times they have said that Aaron Rodgers turns his fucking mic off in his helmet and calls everything by himself? This dude's been fined for doing that. He's argued so many times with all his coaches for doing that, because he has, like Tom Brady, like Tom Brady, they said, would tell a person in the huddle to get the fuck to the sideline and make somebody run out. Like, he controlled everything.
Yeah.
That's what Josh needs to do.
Well, I think that's an interesting point you bring up. Go ahead.
Yeah, but that's sick. That's how I feel like he reaches that next level. And I feel like our coaches trust him. They're like, they trust him to do what he needs to do because of that first year and how he fucking fell on his face, but he kept trying.
Kept going for it.
That second year, that third year, boom. Now it's like, Josh, this is your team. Do it. So I feel like if he transfers that mindset, it's going to unlock some Super Saiyan shit. I'm telling you.
It can, but I'll be honest with you. After really watching the last couple of games, I hate to burst the bubble about this Josh Allen thing, but we're not going to see last year Josh Allen, 2020 Josh Allen,
no,
unless we start really winning in the trenches. Because I'm going to tell you, these guys are getting shredded apart. And, I don't know what the hell the issue is. Look, I tried to decipher it. Is it the play calling? Is it the angles of approach? Are they losing a step? I don't know. Maybe it's really that they're just getting older, and they're really, everyone on that line is starting to really lose a step. Well, everybody on that line. Everyone's going to lose a step on that line and look bad. Deion Dawkins is going to look bad if someone blitzes through the middle and manhandles Mitch Morse.
Yes.
John Feliciano, he has a great personality. We all love him, because he loves Buffalo. He loves Josh Allen. And he loves being a Buffalo Bill more than anything. But man, when you see the toughest guy on our offensive line getting mangled and thrown around, you start to wonder, should we even have any expectations for the Buffalo Bills to get anywhere near an AFC championship again? Because if that doesn't get fixed, where we go, look, Washington football team was a great, it was like a jolt back in our step to, get back to who we are, really assert ourselves offensively. But you just get the feeling that there's so much work to be done. Or something's got to give here, and someone's got to get traded. We got to get something somewhere to fill in a hole, because you got Cody Ford, you got Darrell Williams, you just signed him, and he was getting beat like crazy on the right side, except for this last week. He was really doing, seeing what he did against Chase Young is probably going to be, I think it's tape that's going to be, remembered for probably the entire season. We neutralized him single-handedly, did not have to, double him up. Darrell Williams did his thing against him, and we were able to really get time in the pocket. But maybe there's tape on him to where we were able to figure that out. I don't know. Things got to really, you know how it is with rookies. Their first year, they do great. But my focus really going forward is going to be this line, because, everyone's making a big hoopla about the Chiefs losing. Given, yes. But I believe Frank Clark was out. When you have a really good defensive end that you rely heavy on to get pressure, and, you only got Jones in there, being able to get pressure for you, I really don't think they should be judged too quickly. I do give credit to Los Angeles for having a great game plan on slowing down the offense. Don't get me wrong. But that it will always be the measuring stick for Buffalo, right? And this is what sucks with your conversation, Dave. This is it. and it's irritating, right? We have such a great quarterback for the first time in close to over 25 years. We still are criticizing the living hell out of him because you got Brady and Mahomes and Rodgers who seem to be 3 steps ahead.
Mhm.
It's irritating because I want to believe the Bills can win a Super Bowl, but I have yet to see either the offense support Josh Allen enough or Josh Allen being able to take a couple of steps further to get into that conversation of he's as good as Mahomes. He can snap the ball wherever the hell he wants on the field, just like Rodgers. He can read a defense like Tom Brady and have great ball placement. Josh Allen, in my opinion, is his own entity. He doesn't make sense to anyone, and he probably never will, because there's always going to be these measuring sticks of all these great quarterbacks that we're trying to keep eyes on all of them. And you got some guys that are really grown up in the league, like Justin Herbert now. So, I really hope that Josh Allen does continue to pop off the screen like he did last year, the rest of this year, because you got fans in the stands and it has an impact, and that myth needs to be busted. But it's going to be a lot to dissect. But at the end of the day, the Bills need to do one thing this season and one thing only in order to reassert themselves. It's very simple. Play competitively against teams that matter and sweep your division. That's it.
Hands down. I agree with that.
Notice how no one gave a shit that we lost to the Steelers. We lost to the Steelers, and we lost to the Steelers. It was week 1. Meet you in the playoffs. Who gives a damn, right? Because the New England Patriots didn't beat us 21-16. The Miami Dolphins couldn't score 1 point. The jokey Jets are sitting at the bottom of the barrel. There's nothing to worry about, right? So it's like, let me get off my high horse here, or off my ranting horse, whatever you want to call it. But like, look, man, I get fired up and I get angsty about it because honestly, there's a lot of expectations, but we're gonna have to wait 17 weeks to see it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you with the whole measuring stick thing. Because you look at like someone like Lamar Jackson. He's his own entity. He runs the ball. That's who he is. He's a running quarterback. Like 80% of the time, the guy's just going to run the damn ball. He's not measured up to anybody else because that's who he is. But yeah, when you look at Josh Allen and you hear these things over over the media about like, well, Josh Allen this and he's not as good as Mahomes, or he's compared to Mahomes, or he's not doing something as good as Brady. But you're absolutely right. I mean, Josh Allen is his own entity. This is who he is. And I think he's proven enough within last year and, I guess just this one game that he is MVP caliber. And I don't think he needs this line to be perfect, the offensive line to be perfect. I think that this offense he can command this offense with the line that's competent enough that we have, the line that we have now, because he's able to throw the ball on the run really, really well. His escapability is second to none, in my opinion. I mean, he's flashes of when Russell Wilson was doing it on a weekly basis back his rookie second year. Did you want to touch something? Did you want to touch base on something? You're over here like licking your lips, man, salivating. You got some things to say.
No, I mean, like, listen, I agree with everybody or what you're saying and what he's saying about Josh. I agree, about all that shit. But like I said, if he could just crack that barrier, he could go so much further. But anyways, I don't even care about that no more. What I've been thinking about is now one of my least favorite people on the line is Williams.
Yep.
Last year he was on his shit. This year he doesn't look the same. Now everybody has all this hype about fucking Spencer Brown. Because he's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. He's tall. what if they started trying to throw him in at right tackle? I know he's a left tackle, but because of his big body and his span and how strong he is, maybe that would benefit Josh more.
Yeah.
But isn't it so But dude, that's good. No, it's a good point. But isn't it so counterproductive to signing this freaking guy? Right? It sucks that we're sitting here. We re-signed a free agent, gave him a fat contract. Now we're wondering if he's the problem. I can't believe in Josh Allen's fourth year with the line having continuity, they should know what the hell to do at this point. We're worried about the offensive line. Like, it's incredible.
And
it's incredible.
Pressure is on Josh. That's the exact reason. It's like, but I felt like that we would have figured out this year. Yeah. We should have.
Yeah, so you mean
Shit's
straight
bad.
out of the gate, they should have been like, it should have been one of the best lines in the league. Just straight out of the gate, we got these guys, they've been playing together for the last few years. Like, straight out of the gate, these guys should have been, phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I mean, they showed it against Washington that they played really well. And obviously they did get penalized a few times. I don't know, it wasn't a bunch as compared to like when they played Pittsburgh or even against Miami. But you see that transition to them getting a lot better as the weeks go on, and we hope that transition is still going uphill. I mean, I hope they don't regress against any other team, like other teams with better defensive line. But I feel like we don't. I mean, Washington football team had a phenomenal defensive line. Everyone talked about their line. They had an amazing line. Their defense was really good, and we were able to expose that. All right. So I think we can all agree that, like, if there's one weakness on this Bills team, and every team has a weakness, it's our O-line. But I'm just happy we don't have ourselves a pocket quarterback, a true pocket quarterback. I'm happy we have a quarterback that can actually escape the pocket and throw down the field on the run.
Yeah.
So, I mean, our O-line is not perfect, but they've been able to get the job done, and I think they're going to continue to get the job done. Moving forward, I want to touch base. I just want to talk about Josh Allen getting number 7. Is that number 7? AFC Offensive Rookie of the Week.
Yeah.
Or AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Offensive Player of the Week. Yeah.
He ain't no rookie no more.
Yeah.
Boy.
But, I mean, 7 AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Pretty sure, yeah.
That's big. I mean, he had a great game. Shout out to Josh. Awesome. We'll leave it at that. Dude's awesome. Real quick, Ronnie Harrison was on his radio show. Did you guys see this yet? Rodney Harrison, biggest Bills hater in my opinion. Guy always talks shit about the Bills. Huge Patriots guy.
We also got Nick Wright.
Oh yeah, Nick Wright is a whole other entity. Forget that guy. I don't want to talk about the guy on the show ever. Rodney Harrison went on a radio show and he said that the Bills are the AFC team. They are the top guys. And that's huge coming from Harrison. That was pretty dope hearing that. Man. I had a little goosebumps. They're like, Harrison? The Bills?
Because we shut them up. Shut them up. Shut them up.
Well, I mean, when you go into your division, into Miami, and you literally crush their spirit, their starting quarterback, and you make the fans walk out at halftime, and then you go back home and your quarterback plays like an MVP, you have no choice as an analyst to just say the truth that they are playing like a well-oiled machine versus everyone else who's just sputtering. I mean, as far as I was concerned, after week 1, it looked like everyone was crowning Pittsburgh to get to the AFC Championship, and they just lost to the Bengals. What the hell is going on, right? And yeah. It's weird. It's just weird. It makes no sense to me. But Rodney Harrison, I'll be honest with you. Yes, I see what you mean about him being a hater. Now, I will say, I remember several times on Sunday Night Football him giving his credit to the Bills. It's just, here's what sucks. I'm going to be real with you, right? This is what sucks about the situation with Josh Allen. Being in Buffalo, everyone's always expecting the Buffalo Bills to regress. Number one, that's like a constant narrative. That's the reason we always have a chip on our shoulder. We can never lose, and the media still give respect. It's like, oh, they're back at the bottom of the barrel again. It's like that's the issue. But now with sustained success, analysts are starting to understand that there are too many players and pieces in place as a whole as a team. Talking about coaching staff, with the players, right? That there's too many pieces on the chess board, so to speak, that we don't have a lot of pawns. Let's just be real. Isn't that crazy? If you look at the Bills on their roster as a whole, there's almost like zero pawns. It hurt us. Think about this. When's the last time you gave a damn about a punt return or kick returner? Until Andre Roberts left and everyone cried, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No one ever used to give a damn about that because he was a key piece.
Yeah.
Right? Look at the other players that had to leave. A guy like Quentin Jefferson. Oh no, some people loved Quentin Jefferson. He was great. And then he pops off the screen and one of his latest, and I believe it was in the first or second week, and everyone's hurt. Oh, Quentin Jefferson's gone. Quentin Spain went to the Bengals. He didn't work out on the offensive line, and we paid him all this money.
Mm-hmm.
John Brown's gone. He was too injured, and then he goes, across all the way to Vegas, and then he gets cut, and it's like, oh, bring him back. It's like, isn't it crazy? We're at a point now where there are very few pawns, and it's just like there are kings and bishops and rooks, and knights, and we're just a completely stacked team. But this is the thing. What are the Bills missing? What are they missing? If you're going to ask me, it's what I said from the beginning of this podcast. We are missing a guy. Kelsey catches the ball. When Rob Gronkowski catches the ball, when Antonio Brown gets on a deep route, there is a safety there that is willing to chop your head off and break your soul when he hits you. Like that type of guy. Yeah. Now, I know it's like, oh, but Jordan Poyer's great and so is Micah Hyde and whatever have you. Yeah, but you don't really see them doing that too much because they're afraid to get injured, and I understand that. But if you're going to throw the ball deep and if it's in double coverage, make them pay for it. Don't just swat the ball down or, drag them down after they catch it and, try to stop them in the red zone. That for me is what I'm hoping. And I don't, it could be a cornerback. Maybe we're going to get a cornerback that's like that. Jalen Ramsey is a very physical cornerback. Mm-hmm. Tre'Davious White is not a very physical cornerback. Levi Wallace is not a very physical cornerback. We have great finesse players, very athletic, very intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm waiting for that.
But I'm
waiting for that.
I don't think we have to wait long, though, because there's someone on our team that does have that, and he's starting to showcase it, and that's Taron Johnson.
Okay, yeah, I'd agree with that.
You look at Taron Johnson, I mean, the kid's been all over the field this year, and he's hitting harder than ever. His play recognition is so much better. I mean, Taron Johnson could be that difference maker when it comes down to playing guys like Kelsey and Gronk down the line. I think Taron Johnson has it. Even if you look at Milano, if Milano ends up getting matched up against these guys, he's playing the best football of his career right now.
He really is.
Have those guys on the team. Yeah. I'm sorry, Tremaine Edmonds, Mr. Soft Hands over here. I don't think he can. He's got the softest hands in the league,
hands down.
But no, we have guys, Milano, Taron Johnson. These guys are proven. I mean, they're having the best. Again, they're having the best games of the year, their career. So we definitely have it on the team. And that's all I got to say about that. But yeah, even Jaquan Johnson, like you said, I mean, give this guy a shot. Maybe he's another big hard hitter guy that's gonna make these players, these tight ends, these big wide receivers regret going down the field and catching it in double coverage. Absolutely.
I mean, I remember, what was it last year? Micah Hyde cleared the one fucking dude at the sidelines.
It was Miami. It was against Miami, but that was like I don't know. Jakeem Grant. Yeah,
That's head off shit.
So-
But hold on. But I feel that Poyer and Hyde, they're so focused on trying to knock that ball out.
Yeah.
Because as you see, our whole backfield, everybody does that. Our corners, our safeties, everybody does that. Like, we don't go for that big hit. We go to like punch the ball out,
We're going for
or
the
grab
turnovers.
it or strip it. Yeah.
That's how the
So
coach.
it's like, yeah. So I feel like they're too worried about like go after the ball that like, yo, I'm about to NFL or fucking blitz this dude. Like I'm about to make him do a backflip on his
But
neck.
yeah, I mean, you're seeing those transitions again with Taron Johnson and Milano.
Yeah.
They're hitting harder than ever now. You know?
they are.
Too,
They
yeah.
are. I have never. You know me about Mr. Matty. Woo, baby,
Yeah.
Matty Milano, baby. Don't get me started.
Yeah.
You know I love that man with all my heart and soul. Now, that man, yeah, he's his own thing, and I think he is the staple. In my opinion, I don't give a damn about what anybody says. If Matt Milano ever leaves the Buffalo Bills, our defense will go to shit. Number one. Number two, I don't think that it's in the Bills' plans to get a guy like that. I think they're so focused on sustaining success the way it's been going. If it's not broken, don't fix it type mentality. Leave it alone. I get it. But I'm just saying, for me, I am looking at the physicality aspect playing against a guy like Kelsey, playing against a guy like Tyreek Hill. I get fired up when I hear on, mic'd up that Travis Kelsey, first thing he says in the AFC Championship game is, we're going to see what these guys got. And guess what he brought? More physicality to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what Tyreek Hill brought? Off the line of scrimmage, man-to-man. More physicality off the table. So what did that do? It opened up the entire offense to do whatever the hell they wanted. And honestly, if you're going to ask me, if I'm not a Bills fan and someone that, how do you beat the Buffalo Bills? You beat them to the punch and you play more physical than them. Here's the thing with the Bills. Whenever the game plan is to play physical, play tough, and beat them to the punch, we play our best football since the 90s. And we've seen that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I second that. All right, so we got to move on here. We got to move on to to our next game on the calendar. We're playing the Texans. We're playing Josh Allen's former quarterback coach, David Culley's Texans. We're playing against a rookie quarterback in Davis Mills. We're playing against a top wideout, I would say, in Brandon Cooks. And I guess maybe a subpar defense. I really don't know who they have anymore.
Well, they got a front line. They got I think they have I hate to say the word average because no one in the NFL is average, but in regards to what they have on the table in Houston, I will say that as long as you stifle them at the line of scrimmage, you're probably getting ready to see a 3-touchdown game from Stephon Diggs. Mark my words on that.
I was thinking 2 from Cole, at least. I think
Okay.
Cole's gonna get 2 this week.
So we're saying Josh Allen's at least passing 5 touchdowns. Is that what we're saying? Are we seeing 5 touchdowns?
If they want the smoke and they want to keep coming back at us the way Washington did, it'll look worse. Washington took the pedal off the metal after a little bit and they realized they needed to chill the hell out and they ended up, just kind of almost giving up towards the end of the game. Guarantee you. Here's the thing. Houston is one of those teams that want all the smoke, all quarters, every single second of that game. They're not going to give a damn. They feel like they got something to prove, especially with this whole Deshaun Watson debacle.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, maybe Tyrod Taylor sneaks in there. I don't know if he's going to start, David Mills. I mean, I haven't really looked into it, but if Tyrod starts, that might give a little pep in their step to maybe try to prove themselves, especially him having a homecoming.
I mean, everyone's down at Texans from day one this year. Texans weren't going to be nothing. Tyrod comes in, He's slinging the ball. He's playing really well before his injury. Even against even their game last week with Davis Mill, he showed some good signs. And I think is it too early to call this a trap game for Buffalo?
As far as what do you mean by that?
As far as like, do you think they shouldn't take the Texans lightly? I mean, obviously, no team should take any other team lightly.
Yeah.
But going into this game, do you feel like? I mean, obviously, their mentality is never to take a team lightly. But in reality, do we take this team lightly?
I don't think we do.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the simple fact of everybody's mindset or state, on the team. Because everybody, that's one thing about our team is we could fucking interview. Everybody on the team speaks very well.
Mm-hmm.
Very well on the microphone. Everybody. And just how they speak, you could tell the discipline they have and the mindset they have just to keep doing better. And they go in as like, anything can happen. Like, fucking come on. Look, we lost week 1 versus the Steelers.
Yeah.
And their last 2 games, they've been getting their ass kicked.
Yeah. I mean,
anything's possible.
We go back to this week 1 thing, and I think everyone knows week 1 is like.
I'm glad it happened.
Week 1 is such a weird part of the season. It's never. There's teams that are terrible that year that win that first game, and there's teams that played really, really well, blew out the other opposing team, and then had a shitty season. But I mean, going into the Texans, this is a game. It's a must-win game. It's a game that we should win, and I think they will.
Yeah.
And I think they dominate as they did the last 2 weeks. And they, Josh Allen has a big game. I think he throws close to 400 yards, 3 to 4 touchdowns, maybe runs in 1. He's going to have another big game. I think defensively, the Bills defense, whether they play Tyrod or Mills, they're going to shut him out. I'm calling this game. I guarantee Bills are it's 30 plus points for sure.
Yeah, I believe it.
30 plus points, maybe even 40. And they're going to shut down Texans. I doubt Texans go beyond 14.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. Go ahead.
I'm going to give the Bills 38-10.
38-10?
38-10.
Okay. If I got to go with it, I'm gonna also do 38 because I was thinking that right off the jump.
Mm-hmm. But
I was thinking 38-17. Like, I think that we're going to really win by a good margin because how good our defense has been playing.
Mm-hmm.
And if they stay that pace, yes, they might have some games that are, lower, some games higher. But if they find that happy medium that is just a constant, like, we're holding shit down and they keep it up, I don't see a lot of teams doing, like, more than 21 on us. If they keep it up, I don't see it. And it's crazy because I thought I would never say this before. Like I always thought that, for the Bills, a lot of times it's always going to come down to that fourth quarter grind. Because, like I said, we always do shit in the third. Damn near. I mean, last game, we were on it all 4 quarters. But if you look at all our previous games for the past few years, our third quarter is always our shit quarter.
Mm-hmm.
But we're playing 4 quarters now.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I'm going to go 38-17.
Okay. All right, Steve. Guess of honor. What do you got?
We'll go buy another ass one.
I think that I think the Bills definitely, I think they crossed that 30 benchmark, but I think it's going to be even further than that. I have a feeling that the Bills might actually drop down 42 points, and I got the Texans at 13. And this could be a game where you start to see a bigger emergence of obviously our tight end, Mr. Dawson Knox, really popping off the screen the way I always believed he could. But, one of those things about this Bills offense is it's really starting to utilize pieces that have just been waiting to get utilized. But again, there's only one football to go around. So it's a collective mindset with the entire team. We looked at Stephon Diggs last year and we said, hey, man, you're the superstar. We're going to feed you until we die. And we'll see what happens. We got to the AFC Championship. We know we can do that if need be. We know we can do that. But this is a season to really take advantage of games like this, to take guys that are new to the team, take guys that also need more opportunities to really emerge. Because when you start getting into the playoffs and you're relying on these guys, then you're going to get mad at them because they didn't execute? No. If they execute, it's going to translate into the postseason. So I see a lot of fire coming out of the tight end room, along with Stephon Diggs probably cooking the living hell out of this defense. I tell you, if Baker Mayfield with a handicap, Odell Beckham and, the rest of their guys, they can put 31 points on this team. I just have a strong feeling about that. But again, this is going to be an interesting game. You got to give a lot of respect to the names. I'm just going to name them off for you. Mark Ingram Jr., David Johnson coming out of Arizona off that trade, Brandon Cooks, our boy Andre Roberts, God bless him for all he did for the Bills. And, Phil, I don't know if I mentioned Philip Lindsay, but Philip Lindsay, I still will always have a lot of respect for what he can do in the run game. So, guys that can really pop off the screen, obviously for the Houston Texans, but it's really going to come down to the line of scrimmage and the way Greg Rousseau's coming around, the way AJ Epinesa is coming around. Really look to see these guys take advantage of one-on-ones in this game and probably treat these guys the way we did the Dolphins. But again, this guy's able to, time the football well and really get the ball out of there. I think we might see a very interesting game.
Absolutely, absolutely. And shout out to Knox, man. He played a hell of a game last week, and I always knew he could be a big factor in our team, especially after his rookie season. He was Bozos and boys, especially that Bengals guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he plays in the league anymore.
No, he
gotta rest his soul. But I digress, guys. Steven, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for gracing us on our podcast. We really appreciate it, man. Any closing remarks, man?
Well, definitely and I don't say this to sound cliche and to be a dick, some people are like, oh, you definitely got something good going here, and they fucking get off. No, for real, you guys got something cool here. And this is the first time I've been able to curse this long and so many times on a podcast in a while. I feel a little bit free about it. But, we have a lot of listeners on Buffalo Rumblings, a lot of young guys, young fellers. A lot of you get guys in high school. I don't know, maybe schoolers, and then you got guys up in their 60s, screaming off their porch, type guys that are listening to our podcast. And it's one of those things where it's all about if you enjoy it. And whenever I'm listening to you guys talk about it, it sounds like you're enjoying it. And you know what? If you're enjoying it, guess who else is going to enjoy it? Your listeners are going to enjoy it. So guys, if you really enjoyed what you listened to from Mavie and I suck at nicknames. What's your nickname, Dave?
Mugs.
Yeah, such a badass kid. I wish I had a nickname. My nickname's Steve. Steve. It's like, okay, that guy. Look, man, you guys got something really cool here. Just let it transpire, let it work on its own. And, definitely, I always encourage listeners to interact with your hosts and hosts to interact with your listeners. It's always fun to do that, however you guys do it. And, what an honor to be here with you guys on Speak Up Bills. And thank you for having me.
Let's go.
Appreciate it, Steve. All right, Muggs, close us up.
Hold on. I need Steve to drop his info for the people.
Oh, yeah.
Man, dude, I haven't hosted, and it's been such a long time. So, oh my gosh, let me brush up on how to do this. Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to find me on Twitter, you can find me at BuffHub, a Buffalo Rumblings podcast. My name is Steve Vega. I am the solo host. I always co-host a lot of guys like Sal Capaccio, sideline reporters such as Matt Perino, the Bruce Nolan, and hosted by, my gosh, just a monster roster of people who have been doing this way longer than I have, that I have a ton of respect for. Cover one guys, you name it. Everyone's always just excited to talk about the Bills in different ways and do their own thing. And this is what it's about to be a fan. I don't try to be anything outside of that. So You know, I'm not an analyst. I'm not a sideline reporter. I'm just a guy that, you know, I got my own podcast, and I've been blessed enough to do it on Buffalo Rumblings. So there you go. You can find us on Buffalo Rumblings again on all
Aren't we
platforms.
all?
Oh,
Aren't we
let's
all?
go. Let's go. Thank you again for coming on. Everybody, listen. I don't know why you guys keep making me repeat this every damn week. Because I understand that our Twitter is doing good. I understand. Trust me, I do. A lot of people are talking to us. One thing, you right there. I'm talking to you. Yeah, you listening. No. Don't look at her. Don't look at him. Look at yourself in the mirror. Because one thing that you ain't doing right today is you ain't liking this episode. Like this damn episode. Hit the share button. Look us up on Twitter at Speak Up Bills. Go on the Facebook group. Speak Up Bills. Shit. If we're live on Twitch, we post it _Speak Up Bills. It's that easy. Just when you think about the Bills and you want to speak up about them because you love your team, you think about us. Speak Up Bills. It's not that hard, people. But thank you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for all your interactions. Everybody talking to us. We love you. We appreciate you. Like I said, we are working on some things. We're thinking about a lot of things to make you happy about.
Big things happen.
Big things coming. So please, Twitter, Facebook, at Speak Up Bills. Talk to us. We're here. We love you. Go Bills.
Hey,
Get it.
We out. Let's go, Buffalo.